Get ready for the world's first Squeakquel.
Watch out, here I come. You spin me right around, baby, right around.
Alvin? Don't make me come over there!
I'm gonna puke!
Alvin!
The Squeakquel. No, these bitches didn't.
Yes, they did.
Oh yeah, they
But
did.
you would have known if you were there, or maybe you wouldn't have, because I don't really remember this movie. I think my brain ate itself to remove that part of the memory.
Now, Cyrus, to be fair, they tried to make this movie so Corey could see it, because this time it's not just Alvin and Chipmunks, but you also got the Chipettes.
Yeah,
they threw in some female chipmunks, knowing like, look, we at least got Corey on the I'd hit that factor.
Hey, that's what the internet is for. I've already took a few pictures to the bathroom of these Chipettes. I don't see these movies. They were fine. I ain't gonna lie. Even that little fat chipmunk, I like her too.
It's kind of funny, though, because they're so clearly all related. There's no way they're not. They look just like the other chipmunks, and you're like, okay, so they're going to tag that? Hello, anyone?
Right.
Is the next one going to be the Texas Chipmunk Massacre?
Exactly.
A bunch of inbred chipmunks with, wearing people's faces?
Yeah, it's gonna be like Wrong Turn, but with chipmunks that are inbred, just because Alvin fucked his cousin in this movie.
Exactly.
I mean, and that is true. I mean, genetically, how many more talking chipmunks are there out there?
Well, for all we know, chipmunks only come in 3 varieties. One with glasses, one that's fat, and one that's sassy.
So are we chipmunks?
Ooh.
Corey and the Chipmunks. Corey, Cyrus, Leon.
Corey! You know what? At this point, we should speed up the voices in the review and just talk in our normal voices, but do the rest of the review sped up a little bit.
I give this some old bullshit, even though I've never seen it.
How would our chipmunks be? It comes in what? 2 black chipmunks and a white one?
Sure, why not?
Because the white one would have a white hat and a Colonel Sanders mustache. Drinking a mint julep.
What? I always thought he'd be the nerdy chipmunk, and we'd be the ones wearing our hat backwards and wearing gold chains and everything, and we still.
What Chipmunk movie are you watching?
I'm sorry, because I thought I said something racially offensive, but I'm glad you cleared
Chipmunks
that up.
into hood?
And then we jack you for your acorns. But no, we're talking about the sequel.
Next one going to be Chipmunks in Space? What is going on? We're going on the same chipmunk levels as the Leprechaun movies here.
Hey, man, they're already doing that with these movies right here.
With this, I mean, the moment they start out with talking chipmunks, I mean, anything goes. But I mean, everybody knows Alvin and the Chipmunks. I mean, when was the cartoon invented? I mean,
in the early 60s.
Yeah.
Was it even a cartoon originally, or was it just the albums originally?
Well, it started with the song with Dave Bagazadarian, who did that Christmas song with the Chipmunks. They were so popular, they're like, okay, let's turn them into a real cartoon series.
And then they redid the cartoon in the 80s.
Right.
But again, it was 30 minutes. So look,
where was Richard Gere and the Chipmunks?
Well, I know where the Chipmunks were in Richard Gere. Now that'd be a cartoon, just stick a microphone up to Richard Gere's ass and have his ass sing like a chipmunk. But
It's Alvin!
What? I'm busy. But Richard Gere pays me more. But so what? A 15-minute show without commercials, a 6-minute cartoon tops in the 60s. Yeah. Look, we could suspend our disbelief and take these as cartoons. We're talking chipmunks in that format.
Sure. And then the Chipmunks, they had distinctive personalities. They could be a little funny, but you're right. It's a short little gag, whatever.
Yeah, it certainly didn't seem like something that I'm sure even the creator would have never said, wow, someday this will be a movie starring a guy who has that ghost look in his face like he wished he could be in a Kevin Smith movie right now. You know how low you've sunk when you have that look.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to break things up. I just realized I spoke out of turn.
Huh?
The Witch Doctor song was the first Chipmunk song. The Christmas stuff came later.
The witch doctor.
I told the Witch Doctor. Exactly.
Even the regular version of that song is irritating. Yeah, the Chipmunks, and that's like, the sort of thing you play at Guantanamo Bay.
Over and over again.
Ding dang, walla walla bing bang. Ding dang, walla walla bang bang.
And the terrorists are yelling at themselves, Alvin!
But yeah, man, back to Jason Lee and now he's playing. Okay, we got the new version. Jason Lee, right after playing the voice of Underdog, they said, "Hey, this guy's perfect to be Dave for Alvin and Chipmunks."
He has no integrity. He'll do it for cheap.
Yeah, it's funny because for from Kevin Smith movies, everybody's like, "Oh, I love that guy." Yeah, sure, he's full of integrity. My name is Earl. No, he ain't. He's a big Scientologist who's just looking for a paycheck. Yeah. And the sad thing is, when you see him in these movies, it's clear in his eyes like he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, Jason Lee is the guy who we all recognize, first of all, who got his stardom from the Kevin Smith movies.
Right, got to start from skateboarding.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
And as bad as these movies are, he especially sucks the air out of the room. But however, this time, like with the first one, he just sucked all the life out of a picture that barely had any to begin with. Now this time around, he must have said, "Look, you guys got me for one day. There's no way I'm gonna do this again. I think this My Name is Earl thing is gonna take off, even though it just got canceled." But he shows up just enough to get hurt, thrown in the hospital in traction, and then you don't see him again.
Oh yeah, he's like,
to the end.
"I'm contractually obliged to be in the sequel. It doesn't say how many days I got to be on this fucking movie."
Yeah, instead, you got the guy who plays Chuck on TV.
What's
Zachary Levi.
Yeah,
Zachary Levi, who's his cousin, who's kind of he's a guy who should have moved out of his mom's house a long time ago. Spends all his time playing video games. He's half our listeners. He's
perfect to hang around talking Chipmunks.
Well, the thing is, he wants nothing to do with them because he's busy. He thinks of like his
busy playing
games.
video
He
games.
thinks that his games is a career. They're not, but in his head, his whole trying to get to the next big high score is a big thing for him. So the Chipmunks who want to play board games and talk just like a woman are irritating.
You guys have some problems at school?
No, not really. Unless you consider getting your head dunked into a public toilet a problem. Toby, what was school like for you?
In a word, awesome. But, that's because I was, extremely popular.
Is that why you still live with your grandma? And refer to yourself as the Toadster? And go pew 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 all day?
Bedtime.
It's funny because he's like built up to be such like a colossal slacker who just plays video games all the times. But really, when his alternative is to interact with talking chipmunks, playing video games seems like the more productive thing to do.
Okay, so I didn't see the first movie. I damn sure didn't see this movie. So
you'll be totally confused coming into this. Then.
So
because this answers all the questions from the first one.
Yeah, there
really,
was
I
such
looked
a
at
cliffhanger.
Really? Well, the Chipmunks just go on to stardom. No, I got the gist of the first movie. What's his name? Dave Seville, who's played by Jason Lee, finds the Chipmunks. They can sing, and he's like, "Well, damn, I got singing chipmunks. I'm gonna bank on these little sons of bitches." And they go on to be like a successful singing trio,
as opposed to real life where they would be dissected in a laboratory.
Yeah, some scientists looking at the vocal cords. What is the secret behind these singing squirrels?
Putting those needles into their brain and poking them with electric shocks.
Yeah, they got it pinned up to a board, the skin off, pulled back, and I'm like, bing, bang. Why do I want to bing, bang?
It's Chip and Dale on the other side of the science floor.
So now in this sequel, I only have the trailer to go by. It looks like, okay, you guys, you're big stars now, but you got to get an education. So they go back to high school, which chipmunks don't go to high school. So
Right. I mean, it'd be different if they went to a chipmunk high school, but they go to a regular high school where they have to watch to not be stepped on, yet they're international stars. They're like the Jonas Brothers of chipmunks. Yeah. So the girls are all into them.
Yeah.
But then the jocks hate them, so they have to dodge the jocks, and they got to win the talent show to keep the school music program from going away.
See, I got thrown here by the jocks cheerleader relationship because all the girls, they are hot for these chipmunks. I mean, they did everything but show a bulge underneath their dresses at some point, grabbing them and throwing them under there. It's like they're the Jonas Brothers. You're like, what the fuck is going on? If this was middle school, you could have sold it, but it's high school. These are women on the verge of adulthood. They're thinking about sex. There is no way. I think you hear me.
Well, let me just say this. It goes to prove that girls would do anybody who have fame and money.
That's true.
Even a singing chipmunk.
You're right about that. Plus, a singing chipmunk is probably going to know more about sex than a high school boy.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
I think so.
Hum, motherfucker, hum.
But it's just interesting because the girls are all like, "Oh, they're here. They're so cute." And suddenly the jocks, these are the wimpiest jocks I've ever seen in my life. It's like somebody put Letterman jackets on a chess club and said, "You guys are the jocks, okay?"
Well, which is probably the cast of some Disney Channel show. They all look like that now.
Yeah.
Mildly spiky hair, but
and,
no
and
real
somewhat
physique.
androgynous.
Yeah.
It's like everything from the 80s has come back.
Well, they all want to be in one of the next Twilight films, so you got to stay skinny.
So they're all like, "We got to cut those chipmunks down to size. Let's get them, boys." So they want to beat up chipmunks. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, the main jock in this movie, I don't know the guy's name, but you said that he's kind of a small guy, so maybe that's all he can beat up is chipmunks.
He can't even do that. They beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, Alvin takes him down easy to the point where he has to declare Alvin the new alpha male. Seriously,
He got the bloody jock right there on the floor. The chipmunk has like a bat in his hand. He's like, "I'm running this school, motherfuckers."
they're all hiding in there. He's running out in the middle with his little tiny chipmunk bottles. Warriors, come out to play. Like, oh shit, that chipmunk's gonna kill us.
Yeah, they're all hardcore, wearing leather jackets and stuff, pulling knives on people, beating up nerds.
But they do pull some psychological warfare where they go like, "All right, we'll make Alvin one of us and then turn him against his brothers because now he getting to hang out with the cool kids." Like before, he didn't give a shit about them. He thought they sucked. But now they like, "Hey, man, you cool. Why don't you hang out with us?"
Okay, so I see where this is going. They go to high school and they fall through the regular routine that any kind of kids movie where it deals with high school falls into, except it's with chipmunks. They go to high school, they got to deal with the bullies and the jocks. The girls begin to like them because they become cool. And then one of the guys who used to be not so cool leaves his old gang behind because the it crowd has accepted him. And now he has to like return to who he really is.
Yeah, but not till he hits rock bottom and fucks everyone over, of course.
Yeah, but hold on. That's only plot thread number 1.
It's so rich with threads.
It's like Harold Robbins or Shakespeare. this
Umberto
thing.
Eco.
Now, what you didn't know from the first movie was that they had an evil manager named what was his name? Ethan Hawke. It was Ian Hawke.
Ian,
Hawke.
played by David Cross.
And David Cross was like, he was actually like the one funny thing in the first movie. So he's back. He's like, living in a dumpster or behind a
He's
building or
living
something.
around the record studio he used to
like
work
he set up
for.
an office on the roof that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
So suddenly out of nowhere, the Chipettes, female chipmunks who want to sing, they sort of like the Dream Girls or Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child of rodents. Yeah.
Mail themselves to him, and he goes like, "Wait a minute, another singing chipmunk group? I'm gonna be back on top."
How could this go wrong?
Yeah. So he scams his way into making them his new group and pits them against Alvin and the Chipmunks, who are their heroes, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, the breakdancing rap wasn't working out.
It comes down to it. They're believing his spiel. The chipmunks screwed him over. He treated them like his children, and they screwed him over. And the chipmunks are trying to tell the Chipettes, don't believe him. He's evil.
Oh, so he's got a grudge.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he's got a grudge. He wants to screw over the chipmunks, and he wants to be back on top again with these new Chipettes. But his problem is he doesn't learn from anything, apparently. He's one of those guys who just all he sees is chipmunks and money. He doesn't see, maybe I should not abuse them horribly.
I mean, he's
along the way.
He's pretty much your garden variety record executive.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, if you in the record business, you at some point are gonna run into this guy and probably work for him and get screwed over.
Of course,
Whether you a
usually-
chipmunk or not.
Yeah.
Of course, usually just jumping out the roof of a limo doesn't get you out of your contract. But
Is that what happens in this movie?
it's just saying it's a little more complicated to go through than what happened here.
That's true. The real sequel should have been him suing Alvin and the Chipmunks for breach of contract.
That being said, I seriously doubt the Chipettes have social security numbers, so there's probably no way they could even hold them to that.
That's what I'm
contract.
saying. You gotta take a chipmunk to court.
Yeah. You can't just put a paw print on shit.
It'll be like that Michigan J Frog. You take him to court and they be like, they can sing. I'm telling you, and they just up there. Yeah, they actually rib it like a frog. God damn it! But so I take it that you really enjoyed this film, though.
It's a you're right. It's like a Disney Channel type thing. It's not even mildly qualifying to go to the big screen. I mean, is the CG okay? I guess.
I guess.
I mean,
I guess.
it wasn't like they looked like real chipmunks or anything. There's nothing special about it. They certainly integrated it with its environment capably.
Yeah, they
enough.
probably did a better. I mean, you know what? Now you make me sit and think about it. They probably did do a better job of it. The CG is subtler. The chipmunks aren't as obnoxious or in your face like they were in the first movie. But at the same time, there's just nothing about it that really stands out as good.
I have to say, I do without having seen the movie, one of the things I do like, and this is the thing I probably only would like if I had seen this movie, is the design of the Chipmunks. I like the way they've actually, if you're going to bring them into the real world, they've actually kept some traits of like actual chipmunks and made them still look exaggerated. But look, I'm not basing a movie on that. I'm just saying I saw the trailer and I'm like, that looks like something that they got right there.
You know what? But I mean, despite our feelings about it aesthetically, we do have to. It is our job to bring up the fact that, like, yeah, that is kind of good. Don't make me say that.
Let me say good. I mean, it's workmanlike.
Yeah.
It's like someone went in and said, just make it look where it doesn't have any holes in it, and they did in fact do that. So I hand them that much. At least it's not shoddy looking in terms of, oh, that looks so fake. But is there anything else really good you can say about this film?
It's more like what's good is what's not horrible. Like in the first movie, they had them do a lot of rap, like taking old songs and making them hip hop, which I just find just obnoxious to the point where I can't stand it. And they didn't do that here, but they all just sing songs that are already popular. It's a weird thing when they get celebrities to do the voices. You got Justin Long as Alvin and Jesse McCartney, who's a singer as one. It's like Theodore. Or
yeah, and they were from the first film,
right?
And
what's the point?
Yeah,
all you
can't
do is
tell.
speed up the voices, because in this time for the girls, they got Amy Poehler
And Christina's Applegate.
and Anna Faris. And it's like you get all these names just so you can put them on the poster, but you're going to speed up the voice and nobody's going to be able to tell the difference.
There's no way you could tell who these actors is. No way. And so I have to ask, what is the point other than putting them on the poster?
I mean, unless you got James Earl Jones to do one of the Chipmunks, which you speed his voice up, he sounds like just a normal
He
guy.
just sounds like a normal guy.
He sounds like me. Hey, Alvin, how's it going, man? Hey, Dave. But yeah, it's, looking at the trailer, it looks like it's just a run-of-the-mill family film. Now, I'm not saying good family film, but family film that's just there to cash in on the usual jokes, routine script, routine plot. I mean, it's nothing special there at all.
Pretty much, there's nothing actually offensive here. It's just there's nothing that's even mildly good or original either. I mean, I can't think of a good reason to recommend this to anyone, plus someone whose sense of reason is so unformed yet that they can't tell this is crap.
And the people who probably would appreciate it would be just as happy watching it at home on DVD.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, even, they'd be just as happy watching pretty much anything with bright colors and songs and cartoons moving around. There's no, I can't imagine anyone with the ability to reason looking at this and going, wow, that was a good movie.
Was there one number in here though? Because I remember when you saw the first movie, Leon, you said that, okay, it kind of had me at one point because the Chipmunks, they do a performance where you said you stood up and applauded live, gave them a standing ovation in the theater, didn't you?
Really?
No, you didn't say that. Bravo, Chipmunks. I got to get me some of them. No, you actually said that there was one number where you're like, oh, maybe this won't be so bad because they actually did a good job with that song.
Right.
They actually gave a performance.
Okay. There's not that here.
That's not here. That's
I
not
didn't
the
see
case
the
here.
first one, but no. And it starts off, the first 20 minutes of this film is much worse than the rest because it's doing that thing where it has to turn everything into a chance for the Chipmunks to take a cue from that and turn it into a familiar song.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets old so enormously fast. You have no idea. If they had kept doing that for another 10 minutes, I was going to get up and walk out because I fucking hate that shit. It got old. But then they just stop and they don't really do it again for the rest of the movie. And I was like, oh, all right. But you do it one more time.
One more.
Please. And then after 20 more minutes, I was like, please do it one more time.
You wanted an excuse to get up and leave.
Excuse to get up and leave.
So what would you guys rate it then?
What would you give it?
You know what? I'm sorry. I can't tell anyone even to rent this. There's no point. There's so much better stuff than this out here worth your time for renting. And there's nothing good I can say about it except from purely on a workman-like technical level. So it's some old bullshit for me.
Really?
Yeah, it really is.
You know what, man? I'm so back and forth because I hear where you're coming from. It's just that, like, it didn't make me angry, which is usually when I give us some old bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so flat. It's like, it's a rental, but it's a low rental.
Yeah. Okay.
It's okay, there's nothing else, and these kids are driving me nuts. And they've been wanting to see it, and what the hell? I'll put it on.
It's a shame.
Give a shit.
They're going to go see it anyway, and there's going to be a third one we're going to have to see. I don't know what the fuck that's going to be. I'm just horrified. Even my brain is shutting down. Even start.
Hey man, you know what? Well, the one good thing about a third one is that it put a little money in David Cross's pocket.
Yeah, he's got nothing now.
He's got nothing else
He's
going.
praying for that Arrested Development movie.
I don't know. Maybe the third one will open up with almost every cheerleader in that school having a baby that looks like it's half chipmunk. The doctors are like giving birth and they pull it out. They're like, Alvin! I'm sorry, I had to go there.